Alright guys, going to bring you back into our wonderful little eating out corner here. Hello! Yeah, cleaned it up a bit. It's okay. There's a piece that has to be put in there and then we'll run it from the back, but you can see through here as well. So see up through the vents were designed for, of course, the air-cooled ones. So it's water-cooled. Can't see in there properly, but it goes all the way through. It's not too structural, very happy with that. It's only cosmetic mainly. So we've got that bit there to do an inside skin and also an outside skin up here. I'm going to tackle the inside for the minute. So I'm going to cut all the rust out first, and I've made a small patch up that doesn't look too bad so far, which will fit in there. Mind you, it's going to be under the upholstery, so you won't see it, just the edge bit up here. So we'll match that up, lap weld it over, because it's good up to about there anyway, inside there. So we can actually cut that out, cut all the rust out underneath, but I've made a patch for there, so that fits out in pretty well. Weld that one in, and then we'll tackle up in the top. So we'll start welding that in. I'll bring you back when we've made a mess of that. See you on the flip side. Alright guys, bringing it back in. So we've cut most of the rust out on the bottom. I've just left the top for the minute because I'll have to make a patch for in here. We'll get rid of that very shortly before we weld the bottom in, because it's going to be a lot easier to get rid of that before we weld the bottom in. But the bottom bit's done. I've modified the patch a little bit thinner, so it's not as big of a lap weld over the top. So that'll fit somewhere up there. I can't really see how it's going to fit. Yeah, so that's going to fit all right up in there, and we'll get that welded in after we clean up the top. Alright guys, so stage one looks like a mess. We've got a couple of little spots we've got to fill up. Here and here and here and here. Here and there, along there. It's just been tacked in for the minute, so we'll weld all the way along. Get it all sorted all the way through. Oh yeah, happy with that. As we can see, we've cut the rust out, or most of it out of the top. I've just realised I've missed that hole there and this one here, but hey, look, we'll get to them shortly. So, first bit done. Got a corner back in. It's almost round, but this old lining goes over the top of the whole lot, so you won't actually see it. But yeah, we'll get that sorted, and first patch in, and one more patch after that. We'll sort out a few of these holes here and there. And yeah, fill it up and go from there. Alright guys, another day. We've done a bit of almost repair up to there. We're going to try to attack this now. I've got to cut out a little bit more rust around the place. There was a strengthener behind here. We've got a lot of these things. Oh wait. There was a double wall there, so I've got to put it back in before I weld over the top. I've made a fancy patch to go in the corner, so right through from the little bit that is up there. If you can see it, I'm not tall enough to get up there, and that's what the patch will eventually fill up, and hopefully look too bad once it's in there. We're going to trim it down, of course, make it fit all the holes, and get the patch so it sits in there properly. So that's the idea anyway, and we'll see how we go. So that's the last massive piece of rust in Maisie that has to be filled up around the windscreen. We'll bring you back in and we'll do that and get the windscreen put in at the same time, and then we'll start attacking the interior, I feel. So it's oh sorry, no we won't. We'll start getting that did out of the side. It's a bit of a I'm liking today, because it means that rain isn't going to keep on running down through the hole that was here. Yeah, so I'll bring it back in after it's welded in, and then we'll fill it up and see how we go. Oh, noisy bugger. Okay guys, so here is, no, I wouldn't say a good product. Where are my phone's in the way, light's in the right spot. So that's the light in the right spot. And you can see that this doesn't really look very good. No, it doesn't. I'm not really too worried about this patch. It turned out okay. We got it in there. The bulb over the top, or as the filler over the top, isn't smooth, isn't clean, but it's there. Just to make it a little bit smooth, we really need this edge along here to be smooth, which it is. All the rest gets covered up by the upholstery, goes up over it. As we can see here, this edge is what we need to be smooth, because the upholstery pulls up hard up against that, and there's a straight line along there, as you can see. Sorry about the shadow. So it will look like that when it pulls up over. So the patch is, whoops, sorry again, always apologising. The patch isn't nice and nice looking, etc., because we've got this over it, and then this pulls up over the whole lot. But the good thing is it's metallized again, welded all the way through, put a bit of filler over the top to smooth it out a little bit. I didn't need to worry about it too much, it's not on the outside of the car. So yeah, we'll bring you back in when we do the top patch up here, which I realise that it joins the bottom patch here, and I'm going to get some burning of the filler, so I'll probably end up having to pull the filler off and do that again anyway. So yeah, mistakes of the real world when you go, oh yeah, I'll do that and I'll do that, but yeah, the hole is there to be filled up. You can see the top of the other one, it is metal all the way through there now, and most of the rust is gone. You can see a couple of grind marks. We'll get rid of that, and we'll spray that with a bit of undercoat and sealer to seal that off for next time. Another 30 odd years once we do that bit again, I hope. Okay, we'll bring you all next time. Bring you all next time. Yeah, let's bring you all next time. Who you all are, but I'm sure you'll tell me. Okay, thanks guys. See you on the flip side. Alright guys, another day. We've done a bit of almost repair over there. We're going to try to attack this now. I've got to cut out a little bit more rust around the place. There was a strengthener behind here. We've got a lot of these things. Anyway, there was a double wall there, so I've got to put it back in before I weld over the top. I've made a fancy patch to go in the corner. So right through from the little bit that is up there, if you can see it, I'm not tall enough to get up there. And that's what the patch will eventually fill up, and hopefully look too bad once it's in there. We're going to trim it down, of course, make it fit all the holes, and get the patch so it sits in there properly. So that's the idea anyway, and we'll see how we go. So that's the last massive piece of rust in Maisie that has to be filled up. Around the windscreen, we'll bring it back in and we'll do that and get the windscreen put in at the same time, and then we'll start attacking the interior, I feel. So it's oh sorry, no we won't, we'll start getting that bit out of the side. It's a bit of a I'm liking today, because it means the rain isn't going to keep on running down through the hole that was here. Yeah, so I'll bring it back in after it's welded in, and then we'll fill it up and see how we go. Started welding patch in. It isn't welding too badly. I haven't been able to scrape all the paint off, so I'm sort of doing that as I go. Rust hole there I'm going to fill up. But the rest of it's going reasonably well in that corner. And once it's all welded in, we'll give it a quick grind. I might have to take the back door off, I think, to do that, but that's okay. It's not hard, it's only 4 things at the top. I might even leave the struts on, and that means the door will sort of fold down just out the way, and then it might make it easier. I'm not sure. I don't know too much, but anyway, it'll come back in later. after we've welded in all up, and see what it even looks like from there. Happy days. It's all welded in. Some of it I put a bit of filler in there as well in that corner before I... Okay guys, just bringing you back into our lovely little corner. So we've got the upholstery back in. It's pulled a bit weird here, but that's alright, I'll fix it up shortly. Couple of holes in the upholstery, there always has been, that's okay. Don't really mind that. So the upholstery's all back in. As we said, you don't see any of that repair. That has to come down a bit. So not too bad there. That's what it looks like on the outside. Not perfect. What have I got here? Something sitting in there. Oh, that's the hole. That's right. We're going to put the bung back in. Yeah, it didn't turn out too bad. It's underneath everything. It does need a bit of filler, more filler. The reason it's a different colour is because we've had a lot of storms lately in this place. We've got another one brewing over here as well, and I've sort of just jammed it last night to make it look half decent. So the rain, when it comes onto it, it's not going to wreck anything. But from what it is to where it is now, it's filled up. The patch turned out really well. We've got a bit of paint on our rubbers, of course, but that's a normal thing for me. I'm not too worried about that. So that's our corner, and that is almost it for rust around the front windscreen when we pull it out. And now I'm going to tackle the dreaded door bit. Yes, the dreaded door. So we're going to have to pop it out, make it straight. Where is that? I can't even see it in the sunlight. Make it straight, pop it out, get rid of all this rubbish that's inside there. Bottom one's going to pop out even better because it's a great big dent in the bottom. And yes, a lovely little corner there. Cut it and put the other piece that we've got in there. So that'll be our next video very shortly. And then from there, we'll take the front windscreen out, get it out and done, and that's almost Maisie for all the rust and dents and stuff. And then when we've done that and fixed up a bit of paint here and there, we'll start tackling the mechanical parts of it. So I'll bring you back in when we start to do this, which might be in the next couple of days. We'll see you on the flip side.